if you have to tell the budding filmmakers or anybody who's a dreamer, who's a
Right.
creator, what is it that you would like to tell them? Say if you
Your family members, they are so involved in the process. Like, I had no actors, I didn't have any actors, so Shaheen and Shahan acted in my first. We just shot in this compound in the building, and the response that Dabba got, because it came from a space of observing something said
over there.
and done, I wanted my people to support me, because I would have done that for my close ones. So I wanted that support. And so I vicariously live through my films, short films, or my audio series, or whatever content that I make. And like you said, that's the connect. That's the action step with the manifestation that you're trying to do. So
Yes.
dreams do come true if you take those action steps.
Welcome to our podcast, Growing Deeper Together.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chitra, for having me on the podcast.
Yes, Nozzer. And just to go back to the time when I first met you,
Yeah,
2018 in Mumbai,
right.
and your wife has been a friend from some time, and we did
Absolutely.
some work together. And very sweetly, you, your wife Sonal, and your two boys, Shahan and Shaheen, correct me if I'm their
Right, right,
names
absolutely correct.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, you all drove to Ananda Center at
yeah,
Khar, and
right,
you took me to your place.
right.
And that is
Yeah,
how the sweetness of Pardiwala family,
yeah,
I had a taste of it.
yeah,
And when I reached your home and you were gifting me, the gift of that I'm a filmmaker, so I will make a
yeah,
few videos of yours, your work.
yeah, right,
And that's how, my YouTube channel first started. And
right.
I realized the beauty of cooperation, cohesion, love, and deep understanding in these four members of a family, different age group. And personally, I was, very impressed, very inspired.
Absolutely. Sure.
And also the fact that you had this, in Mumbai, 1 BHK apartment,
Yeah,
but how beautifully you would use that same space for your,
yeah,
filming movies,
yeah,
for
yeah,
eating those gorgeous meals, making it into a bedroom, and it never felt cramped, even
right,
when a
right,
guest was added, because I
right,
spent the night there.
right.
So I would want you to, take the journey before that. What brought you to this space when I met you? You were already in that beautiful space.
Right,
And
right.
I'm sure we will talk about, more from there. But before that, just fill us up to that point.
Right. So, like, I and Sonal have always believed that, I've been lucky that people have walked into our lives, frankly, like angels, जैसे हम बोलते हैं, and they've just been there to do and be a part of our lives in some way. And I'm sure that, Chitraji, you also came into our lives just like that. You know what contribution you had to our lives as well. And just imagine, before that, neither were you aware or knowing me or Sonal, and then you and Sonal just meet up on Facebook, and then you take on from there. I mean, at the right moment, right people have entered our lives, and you have been a very special one of that. And like you said, yeah, that whole thing of being together, Abhibi, when this podcast is on, all the other three are ready in that room. They're like, even if we are not part of each other's something, but we are all there for each other. So
Oh,
Shahan was somewhere else, but he landed up just 10 minutes before the podcast. Shahan has come from his exam, but Sonal is already there, always with me. So, that thing has been there. एक बोलते हैं ना कि sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. So, when we were raising the kids, unfortunately, we had certain crises in life where, most of our loved ones were not there with us to help us around. And in a way एक blessing ही हो गया वो, because we too were there to raise the kids the way we wanted to, and imbibe in them whatever, the knowledge and the attitude and teachings that we believed in. गलतियां भी की बहुत सारी, but that is why I think that whole thing of being there for each other. And Sonal had in a very beginning told me one thing, कि कितने भी बिजी हो जाए हम लोग, we'll always be there for the kids open house when they were schooling, of course, and for their medical visits to the doctor. So this was a very clear communication from Sonal, and we actually followed that to the hilt. Till they were schooling, we were always there. कितने भी busy हो जाए, we were always there for their open house and their doctor's visit. So, what actually probably you felt in that one bedroom hall kitchen, like today also, our ex-students, Shahan's friends, they just walk in like today now they will have a carom board party here, and anybody just walks in and it's we love that feeling, you know. So yeah, that's what we have been sharing all this while, and probably that's the feeling that came across when you came.
yes. So thank you for sharing that, Nozzer, because in today's world, where we don't have a village to support us to raise our
Absolutely.
children, if the
Exactly.
husband
Yeah.
and wife, they decide, and they create their own
Yeah.
protocol and they follow it, and the children trust that. So that is the result I see in your home. So you
Absolutely.
talked about school, but I
Yeah.
also know when I met you, your children were
Yeah.
being homeschooled,
Right.
and both of you were
So,
running a
yeah.
tuition center,
Right. Absolutely.
right? But
Right.
at heart, you've always been a filmmaker,
Right.
and
Right.
Sonal has always been a psychologist
Right.
at
Absolutely.
heart, you know?
Right.
So, and I saw that glimpse of that filmmaker not only in you, but how a filmmaker's family, fully
Yeah.
is engrossed in that work as very
Right.
matter of fact. So, would you
Correct.
like
Yeah.
to say anything about that?
So, see, like you rightly pointed out, ki always, I always wanted to be a filmmaker as far as I remember in my childhood days. Of course, then life happened and twists and turns of life and some oddballs, and that way I could not fulfill that wish, right? And I went into coaching, and we were doing tuitions and all that. And then came the time period when there was this Navjot ceremony of Shahan. We have this thread ceremony, and I think I was around 39 years old. And उस टाइम पे ऐसा होता है, there's a custom that you buy something for yourself and for the family, and for the woman of the house you buy gold. So that was the time I was dilly-dallying that I want to do something and start making films. So Sonal said that, okay, why is there so this need that we have to buy gold? Go ahead. In Navjot to karna hi hai. That ceremony is on. Just go ahead, buy a camera that you want, and instead I'll not buy gold. And that is actually the stepping stone from where my filmmaking journey began. Okay. So, and after that, of course, like you said, that whole thing was always there. I always wanted to. And at your disposal, who are there? Your family members. They are so involved in the process. Like I had no actors. I didn't have any actors. So Shahin and Shahan acted in my first. We just shot in this compound in the building, and the response that Dabba got, because it came from a space of observing something. And the responses were organic because we did not know how to play this game of YouTube. We did not know that you can buy subscribers or you can buy views. And we still don't. We just wanted that 10 log dekhe, par unka jo organic comments that will come, they are, they are the true comments. They are like reaching out to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the stepping stone. If not for Sonal, I would not have jumped into that. And today now I have so much of work behind me,
Yeah.
including one of the films that you worked in.
Yes. Yes. So, Nozzer, one thing I noticed in your work that because you are a Parsi and you have
Right,
very beautifully, you know, always tried to uh, bring out the, small nuances of Parsi community, little idiosyncrasies, little strengths, their cuisine. And also the fact that if somebody marries outside the Parsi community,
right,
like you have,
right,
so
right,
what they may face, you have used
right,
everything in your films and made it
right,
very relevant. So, would
right.
you like to say anything about that?
So it actually this, like I say that all my stories are a reflection of all that I've lived. Okay. So this traces back to my childhood when I was as a child observing certain customs and traditions in my very close-knit community. And certain times I also questioned it. And many a times, believe me, the elders would want you to do certain thing, but they did not have the explanation for it, that why is this supposed to be done. So through my films, especially the Parsi content that I make, I am just answering those unanswered questions
Yeah.
all along. So like when I made is 2, the whole idea was that whatever said and done, I wanted my people to support me, because I would have done that for my close ones. So I wanted that support. And so I vicariously live through my short films, or my audio series, or whatever content that I make. And like you rightly said, that, the nuances and certain idiosyncrasies. So what happens is that, the make believe Parsi that you see on screen in the mainstream Bollywood is always a fun loving, jovial, or, always a crazy Parsi, always wearing the traditional dress, which
Yes.
is not true at all. And, but that is how, we are like typecast in Bollywood. So I wanted to break that particularly. And, when I have got some wonderful comments, and that's the short film that keeps getting views, irrespective of whether I share it. Till today, I get around 100 views in like around 3 4 days, and some comments just randomly, people writing there organically. I am not sharing it anywhere. So what happens there, when I see a comment, I see all positive comments. I see a comment, but this is not how Parsis behave in their house. And that's what I said. This is what I wanted. This is also a Parsi in a house, because what you have seen, believed is it's a Parsi who is very rich, very elite, and, very refined. You haven't seen all of them. They also lick fingers. Like that is why there is a scene in Ishtu where that, the son-in-law is licking his fingers. And you would see a Farsi household would fucking say, no, we also lick fingers. So that is something intentionally I've, you know, uh, done that in my films, basically. And of course, my podcast, that is Ban Maska, Untold
Yes.
Parsi Stories.
Yes. So, thank you for sharing that. So, now we come to the point when I was living in Mumbai,
Yeah,
and you connected saying that you had watched our documentary, and
yeah,
there was something that had touched you, and you wanted to make a small film on that, and I butted in that, can I act in that film?
yeah.
So I would say that, how brave of you, how sweet of you that, somebody
Mm,
who's never faced the camera, and you
right,
like, you just said, yes, if you want to do it, let's do it.
right,
And that too, short film shot in my apartment
Yes, yes,
and in your uh, upcoming home,
yes.
the
Now it's
outdoor
all done.
shots.
Yeah,
Yes, now it's
yeah,
all done.
yeah.
So that excitement of having a home in, in the suburbs, in little away
Mm,
from the city.
right,
So all of that, got a little taste of that, and that film also has a little taste of that freedom.
right.
So anything you would like to say about that?
Sure. Actually, when of course, I knew you already. And when I was watching, that actually just came into my feed, and I was watching the documentary. And now that you point out, what actually touched me in that story was because, the high point is that y'all, as a couple, you and Somnath deciding that let's give away the most precious part, that is your exchanges of love notes, that is your love letters or just letters to each other, and to just burn them, I mean, to ashes, is in itself a very courageous and a high point of that whole act. But I saw a very small glimpse during that whole thing. Ki, because what was being highlighted was that there was this person, means who has, he's naturally doing it for the country. And we always do that. We kind of, uh, and of course, they do the best for the country. But also behind them are the family members.
Yeah.
And that is where I saw you having that ki, matlab, you also have contributed in a way to the nation, okay, by making whatever sacrifices you made, right? And for you, if he would have shared something and not shared something, it is like a very vital information.
Yeah.
Choti si baat hogi. But you not knowing that is very important.
Yeah.
That आपको कुछ बातें पता चल रही है मे बी ब्रॉडकास्ट के थ्रू या कहीं और से, बट उनकी जिंदगी में एक छोटा सा भी इंसिडेंट हो गया या लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग भी हो गया, बट इफ यू नॉट नोइंग इट,
Yeah.
then that would be mean so much to you. And actually, the reference was that for me.
Yeah.
And like you say, it was very brave. In fact, I feel I'm not a brave filmmaker because, in the sense that I could not touch upon the army part.
Yeah.
And I actually made it a civil servant. So I always regret that because, so somewhere, yeah, I am growing over that and trying to be a little braver than that. But working with you was fantastic. I've always worked with non-actors. And the best part about that is you have lived it. Who
Yeah.
else could have done it? I mean,
Yeah.
because you have gone and you were so effortless in saying those dialogues
Yes.
because kahin those feelings and all that were naturally must have surely resurfaced also.
Yes. So, Nozzer, that was when we kind of, drifted apart in the sense living our own
Yeah,
lives.
right, right.
And you doing your stuff, me doing my stuff, and, each
Absolutely.
one of us doing. So now you fill me up with whatever has been happening in your world since then.
Right. So a lot of things have happened, and that also brings me to that. That's the beauty of our relationship, right, Chitra, with our family and you. That though we are, we may not talk regularly or meet regularly, but we do intend to come to Goa then.
Yeah.
So, but what the thing is that we always keep talking to each other in a way that we reach out. I share things with you when we
Yes.
have done something, and we are always seeing you, all the work that you keep doing. You share on Facebook. You're such an avid, you are so avid on the social media. So that way we are always in constant touch for sure. Now, we have done a lot of things since then, especially, I have written some other short films. I had written a feature film called Banmaska. It's an out and out, the research was going on since 2020, and it's still in the making. A very wonderful piece of information that I wanted to share is this phone call from Nasir sir and Nasuddin Shah, sir. And in 2024, one fine day on, I think, a weekday, we are just all busy running around at around 10:30, 10:45. I get a call, and Nasir sir is there on the line, and I'm just casually talking. And believe me, I was numb, and I was not registering what is happening, generally, like how people would have shared. And he says that I like Ban Maska. I would like to be a part of it. He had some suggestions, and he said I would love to come home and meet me. And after, and then I said something, and he has a particular way of, there's a tinkle in his smile. And that is the time it hit me that it is really Nasruddin Shah talking to me. And that is the time I realized that, okay, this is real happening. Okay. Then I met him personally at his home, and the whole thing, it was so unreal. Then Ratna ma'am also agreeing to be a part of the movie. Unfortunately, a lot of things transpired, and still we are finding a producer, still trying to get it on the floors. And I'm sure it has its own life and it's going to materialize someday. But the reason to share this is that, मैनिफेस्टेशन तो होता ही है अपनी जगह पे, राइट? बट मैनिफेस्टेशन के साथ एक्शन स्टेप्स जब आप लेते हो, देन इट बिकम्स रियलिटी,
Yeah.
राइट? सो कैसा होता है कि अगर मैं, लाइक व्हेन यू आर यंग एंड वेरी डायनामिक, यू मे जस्ट कीप डे ड्रीमिंग,
Yeah.
because that's only trying to manifest without taking any action steps, and वो बहुत किया मैंने. But when I really started taking action steps, so what were the action steps? Writing a script, because the only connect between me and Nasir sir is I know him, he doesn't know me. I had the courage to write it. I had the courage to, and the belief to send it to him,
Yeah.
physical copy and the soft copy, because I knew he would want a physical copy. And that's the connect. That's the action step with the manifestation that you're trying to do. So
Yes.
dreams do come true if you take those action steps. So that
Yes.
was one very important thing that I wanted to share. A lot of other things have happened. I've written for a gaming app, all crazy things, all the new things, because I really adapt to these things and I enjoy it. I wrote for audio platforms. So I've been writing audio stories. I created my own Ban Maska Untold Parsi Stories during the pandemic. Then there was Sahebji Bawaji for Nilesh Misra ji. He was coming up with an app, and there I was sharing these Parsi folklore in Hindi.
Okay.
So that it was for a larger, his audience who would listen in Hindi. And it was like a first time, because Zoroastrian Parsi folklores for everybody to listen to. And these are all the things I have been doing. And then comes microdrama, a new wave in India, and AI coming up with that. So I've tried my hands on AI writing. I have just now, this microdrama has released on 2nd of July called Imported Bahu. I shared it with you, I suppose.
Yeah.
And yeah. And that's also, Chitra, how it happened is this how the whole manifestation with the action steps works is कि बहुत सारे माइक्रो ड्रामा लिखने के ऑफर आए थे, पर they were like, initially when micro dramas were being written, they were competing with Instagram reels. So they used to be gory, sleazy. They were like, okay, I mean, they're just for eyeballs, nothing meaningful. And then you wait, and then you get an opportunity that was actually sent to me through my previous creative director. She referred Shahan's name. Now just see how the whole thing works. She suggested Shahan's name because he had also worked with her. And Shahan at that point of time didn't want to do a micro drama. And he said, will you do it? And he passed the offer to me. And then it came to me. And it's an Indo-Nigerian collaboration.
Mm.
The Nigerian star Osas Igadaro, if I'm pronouncing the name right, she stars in it. Rajnish Duggal is there. And how many micro dramas get mentioned in a mainstream newspaper? So, how things happen, you just have no idea. If you manifest and kind of, do the action steps that are necessary to
Yes.
do it. So these are all the things and a lot of other things happening simultaneously. So in a way, just writing a lot for all possible mediums that are there today. And thankfully, there are so many.
Yes, these are the best times for
Yeah, actually.
creative people.
Right.
Uh, I'm so happy for you, Nozzer, but I also know whole lot of perseverance that has gone in, whole lot of, constant action and passion.
Right.
You really have passion for it, and you've not like just sat down ever. You kind of expanded yourself in every manner, and of course you have support from the family. And now that the boys are, they have grown up, they also bringing in, the new gen, you know,
Yeah,
flavor. So,
absolutely.
but today, if you have to tell the budding filmmakers or anybody who's a
Right.
dreamer, who's a
Right.
creator, what is it that you would like to tell them?
See, actually, like you said, that perseverance
Mm.
and the passion, because artistic people, when they kind of become known and their work gets recognized and they naturally start monetarily getting returns for their artistic work, then their work is with the people.
Hmm.
They become whole with the people. But in their process, the artistic people are very lonely.
Mhm.
And when they are alone in that process, believe me, it's very difficult. And like you rightly said, if you have family members
Yeah.
who believe in you
Yeah.
and who kind of support you, because like they say, certain things you have to do for the kitchen and certain things you have to do for the soul. So you cannot just completely fulfilling your soul, you also have to do something for the kitchen. And when you find that support in your best half, I call Sonal my best half always, and your kids, uh, and without any questions, you know then yes, that actually helps. Because ये बोलना ऐसे कि ओ आई एम वेरी आर्टिस्टिक और मैं मेरा पैशन फॉलो कर रहा हूँ, बट इट कम्स एट अ कॉस्ट,
Yeah.
you know but yes, like if you are saying that what the budding filmmaker should do, you have to keep pursuing with action steps, not just keep dreaming कि कोई एक बंदा आने वाला है और वो आपको कुछ एक चांस दे देगा. Don't wait for. I admire people who are just taking their phones nowadays and just shooting.
Yeah.
When I reach out to these people and I compliment them, because see, when I started, there was only YouTube. Now you have Instagram and of course, TikTok. It's banned in India, but world over, there are people making money on TikTok. So there is a lot of scope for creative expression, and
Yeah.
the whole world has come into your small device. You
Yes.
have beautiful cameras. You just pick up. Don't wait for anybody. Don't wait for a producer. One fine day will reach out to you. Nobody's going to reach out. They don't know you. Create your body of work.
Yeah.
So if I would have not paid heed, because see, sometimes na khali support zaruri nahi hota. Like financially support कर रहे हैं आपके spouse और आपके family members, वो एक आईना दिखाना भी जरूरी होता है.
Yeah.
So why I tell her the best half, because Sonal also holds me up and says, what are you planning to do now? Are
Yeah.
so there is somebody to even ask you, right?
Yeah.
Question you, okay, what is your game plan? How long will you just keep waiting? And that is why I've got so much work done.
Yeah.
Right, from that time period when she said that I'll not take gold and you take this camera, till today, from 39 to 50 to today, the body of work that I've created. So if I go and stand in front of Nasir sir, I don't just have the bun maska in my hand. I have something to show him that okay, he's done something. He's
Yeah.
not going to see that, but he's, you have something to stand upon.
Yeah.
तो वो करते रहिए. I would say that you are in the best of times today, when you have opportunities galore, uh, and you can be producers. I say that don't wait for a producer, you produce your own content. कहानी है, कहानी को कैसे बतानी है, ऑडियो फॉर्मेट है, राइट? अब ये माइक्रो ड्रामा आ चुका है, इंस्टाग्राम पे आप लगा के उसको रख सकते हो, फेसबुक पे रख सकते हो, एंड आई एम सीइंग यंग बडिंग पीपल, दे आर डूइंग दिस,
Yeah.
right? Also, very importantly, Chitra, what is happening is after the pandemic, there is this very need for connecting people
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
So even the stage circuit is becoming very vibrant. People who want to do plays. So
Yeah.
आपके पास एक छोटी सी कहानी है, चार पांच लोगों को जो एक्टर्स, और लोग actors are hungry for work. So just collaborate and go ahead and make a play today and put it up on those websites. People will come and watch it. So there are tremendous amount of opportunities to do that. And
Yes.
don't give up. Don't give up. Dreams do come true, but don't keep sleeping. Take action steps.
Yes. And as you said, actually there is a, boom of
Yeah,
content right now. Everybody is making content, and they're just putting, actually people are enamored with their own content. Now
absolutely.
they
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
what they are creating more, and with so many creators, yeah, let's see how, the future unfolds.
right.
But thank you, Nozzer, for this lovely conversation with you and your family. What I see is a new, format emerging, and I'm
Yeah,
sure there are other families like that, but not many that I have known. But where you have something to teach people or to share with people, uh, not just uh, other stories, but your own stories of courage, your own stories of the joy, and
absolutely. Right.
working together. And I see a whole lot of material emerging from there, because when the foundation is very strong, even the
Right.
boys will fly high, and both of you
Absolutely.
with them. And I wish Pardiwala family all the very best. And
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm sure it's an inspirational family, not just you,
Thank
but
you so much. Yeah,
everyone. Yes,
absolutely.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So thank you.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.